Have you ever stopped to ask yourself, why do I value what I value? Why do I chase the things I chase? And why, even after reaching certain goals, do I still feel our lives carrying invisible instructions? Instructions written by society, culture, media, and generations before us. And somewhere along the way, those instructions quietly taught you to hate yourself, not in loud, obvious ways, but in subtle, silent patterns you barely notice. Today I want to explore this conditioning through the lens of thinkers like Erich Fromm and Michel Foucault, to understand how modern society shapes us to suppress our authentic identity and what it really takes to break free. From the moment we're born, society hands us a script. Without realizing it, we learn what's considered acceptable, beautiful, successful, and respectable. It tells us how we should look, what kind of job we should have, what emotions are appropriate to show, and even what kind of life is worth living. This is what Michel Foucault referred to as invisible power, a system of control so subtle it doesn't need violence or force. It shapes people by defining what is normal and what is abnormal. And here's the dangerous part. The more you accept these standards as your own, the more you silently betray parts of yourself. Take something as simple as beauty standards. From a young age, we're flooded with images of what's considered attractive. And if we don't naturally fit that mold, we're made to feel inadequate. Not through open insults, but through absence, through comparison, through what society celebrates and what it quietly ignores. The same happens with careers. The world glorifies certain paths, doctors, engineers, entrepreneurs, while quietly dismissing others. If your interests lie outside those categories, you're often left questioning your worth. This is invisible conditioning. It doesn't shout. It whispers. Erich Fromm, in his book Escape from Freedom, explains how modern humans, overwhelmed by the burden of individual freedom, seek to escape it by conforming. Freedom, while liberating, also makes us anxious. It forces us to make choices, to face the unknown. And so, many of us unconsciously choose security over authenticity. We adopt the beliefs, opinions, and values handed to us, not because we truly believe in them, but because it spares us from loneliness, from conflict, from rejection. And this is where the quiet self-hatred begins. You start living a life designed to gain approval, meet expectations, and avoid discomfort. And every time you ignore your real desires or suppress your authentic self, you chip away at your sense of worth. You're left with this constant, quiet discontent, a feeling of being disconnected from yourself, yet unsure why. This conditioning eventually creates what psychologists call a false self, a version of you built not on who you are, but on what you believe others want you to be. You learn to smile when you want to cry, to stay silent when something feels wrong, to chase things not because they matter to you, but because you think they're supposed to matter. Foucault compared society to a panopticon, a circular prison with a central watchtower. The inmates never know when they're being watched, so they begin to police their own behavior. Modern life works the same way. Even when no one's watching, we monitor ourselves. Is this good enough? Will people approve? Will I be judged? And in doing so, we become prisoners of invisible expectations. We stop asking what's true for us and start living as a collection of other people's ideas. Most people live like this for years, sometimes their entire lives, without realizing it. But there are signs if you look closely. You might notice you feel guilty when you rest, like you have to constantly justify your existence through productivity. Or maybe you feel ashamed for not fitting into certain molds, for not being as successful, as wealthy, as attractive, or as outgoing as you think you should be. You might achieve things you thought you wanted, only to find them empty. The job, the relationship, the praise, none of it fills the quiet ache of disconnection. These are signals, not of failure, but of misalignment. So what does it take to return to yourself? First, it takes awareness. You have to start questioning where your values, beliefs, and desires come from. Is this truly mine, or was I conditioned to want this? Then, it takes courage. Because stepping away from what's expected will always feel uncomfortable. It means accepting that you might be misunderstood, rejected, or even criticized. But that discomfort is the price of authenticity. Erich Fromm spoke about productive freedom. Not the freedom to follow impulses, but the freedom to actively create your own life, based on your own truths. And you don't have to do it all at once. Start small. Speak honestly. Say no when you need to. Explore what excites you, not what earns applause. Let yourself be unknown, unapproved, unpolished. It's in those quiet, honest moments that you begin to return to yourself. They taught you to hate yourself quietly, so you wouldn't fight back, so you'd fit in, so you'd keep chasing approval in a system built to make you feel less. But now you know. And with awareness comes choice. The question is, what parts of you were never truly yours? And what are you willing to reclaim? If this spoke to you, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. I'll see you in the next video.